Yes. Relog level. See, this is the source terminal. This is the source terminal. Source terminal. And this is the gate terminal. This is the drain terminal. Hello?
Sir, okay, sir.
Yeah. Sir, I am in busy. I am in meeting. So this is the input signal. See here, the input signal is applied to the source terminal. Source terminal. See, this is. Okay. Whereas the gate is biased with some voltage. Okay. And as is a, so since the gate is common between the output and input, input is applied between like this. This is the gate. This is the input is applied between the gate and the source. Gate and the source. This is the input signal is applied here in between the gate and the source. And similarly, output is collected here. The gate is common for input side and output side. Okay. So don't confuse with this gate configuration because common gate is somewhat little bit confusion because the signal is always we interested to give the signal is always at the what is that one gate terminal. But here we are not providing any signal input signal to the gate. That is the keep in mind. And yes, this is the common gate stays. This is the common gate stays, and this is the also common gate stays. But input is applied to the source as I said, as we discussed. The input is applied to the source via a coupling capacitor. Coupling. So generally we use the coupling capacitors for what purpose? Whenever the source is connected to block the DC value. Okay. So now bias current of M1 transistor. This is the M1 transistor. Bias current of M1 transistor flows through the input signal source. Alternately, M1 can be biased by a constant current source with the signal capacitively coupled to the circuit. So generally what is saying, bias current M1. Why? Because here applied the bias voltage. So that some amount of the bias current which is required. What is the importance of the bias current? To keep the, to fix the what? Operating point. Otherwise, the MOSFET will operate in their so one operation, one reason of operation. But so whenever you are doing something, so you must be aware of what keep your transistor in which region of operation it should be do. Okay. So for that, what happened? The biasing voltage is applied. Some biasing voltage applied. Fixed bias voltage is applied to the gate. Because of this, so bias current is flowing in the M1 device that I shown here. Okay, so how much amount is flowing? I1 current. Okay, that I am representing like that. Okay, understand or not? Okay, next one. Yes. So here, for large signal analysis, first assume. So Vin is decreased from large positive value. Generally, if you see this picture, so this x-axis is the input voltage and y-axis is the output voltage. Okay, so x-axis runs the input voltage, y-axis runs the output voltage. So my assumption is, first of all, assume V in decreases. Decrease means towards the left hand side. Increase means towards the right hand side. This axis. So you can go either back or forth. Back means left hand side and forth means right hand side. Okay. So assume Vn decreases for a large positive value. So then let us say this lambda value. Lambda value 0. What do you mean by lambda value? What do you mean by lambda value? It's nothing but what? Channel length modulation factor. Lambda is the channel length modulation factor. So this is 0, you can assume. So now, so my assumption is V in is far greater than VB minus VTH. Why I'm saying VB minus VTH means, so VTH is the device threshold voltage and VB is the fixed amount of the voltage applied to the gate to provide the biasing purpose. That's why whatever the input voltage should be to operate the device, apply the voltage or input voltage wherever, whether it's source or something, it must be greater than what? The difference of the fixed voltage and the threshold voltage of the device. So that, so whenever V input voltage is greater than or equal to VB minus VTH, M1 is off. Why M1 is off for this? Sir, you said that what is the amount of voltage you are applying? Okay, so Vin is greater than what is that one? VB minus VTH, the device should be on. But I am saying here is off because my input signal is not applied to the gate. My input signal is applied to the source. So that source becomes more positive than the gate. So the device will not be applied. Understand? So generally what we thought, so the gate is positive or negative and source is always grounded. Okay, so source and bulk should be tied together and so connected to the ground. That is our assumption for all the circuits. But what I am doing here is I am applying the input voltage to the source. So that's why with reference to the source, so this condition with reference to the source, my source potential is more than the gate, then device will not be on. So that M1 is off. Whenever M1 is off, if you go to the previous circuit, yes, whenever this device is off, what happened? You can collect the output. So yes, you can collect the output here. Since device is off, no current, no drop across RD, so the total VDD will be appear at the What my point? So whenever M1 is off, no drop, no current is flowing from supply rails between supply rails. Therefore, what happened? There is no drop across the RD. Since no drop, total VDD appears at the output terminal, so that your V out is equal to how much? VDD. This is. You can observe in this characteristics, voltage characteristics. You can observe this. See here is VB minus VTH. This is the point. So I am talking about your input voltage more than this value. So means this range. Am I correct? This range. Your device is off. Your device is off. So that your output voltage is exactly what? VDD. Understand? Yes. So the next one is another case. Suppose your input voltage is less than the VB minus VTH, which means again your drain is, sorry, your gate is more than the source. Your gate is more than the source. Then what happened? So then the device is on and is in the saturation. So whenever this condition is satisfied, M1 is in the saturation. So whenever M1 is in saturation, definitely current is flowing in the circuit. So that some amount of the drop established across the RD. So that your VDD, sorry, your output voltage is not now VDD. It is lower than the VDD. So how much it is lower, we want to find. Clear? Understand? So, yeah, if you see this characteristics, see, this is the VB minus VTH is here. I'm talking about, so V input is less than this value. So that this reason I'm talking. So whenever, for example, so here you are here, then your output voltage is not VDD, it is like this. Now M1 is in saturation. This is the, from here to here, M1 is in saturation. Okay, what is the saturation current? You know, 1 by 2 mu n C by X W by L into, so VGS minus VT. But here, what is the VG potential? VB minus Vin minus VTH. Okay. Okay. So then a small, so okay, this is the, this will be happen. Then the small signal gain I want to find. So this is my output equation. Already I told you, whenever M1 is in saturation, I think the drop across RD will existing. Okay, so that is drop across RD is nothing but RD is multiplied with the current flowing in the device. So this is my output voltage. Now I want to find the small signal gain. So what is the gain for small signal gain formula? Differentiate the output voltage equation with respect to the input voltage. Change in input voltage. Okay, if you apply derivation, okay, or derive this equation with respect to the input voltage, then this is VDD is constant, becomes 0 minus RD is multiplied with, so the whole thing, and 2 is multiplied by 2 to get cancelled. Then, so in bracket VB, Vin, VTH is there. If you differentiate this with respect to the, so Vin, then you will get the, this VB is a fixed voltage. Again, it's a 0. So minus, so dou Vin by dou in is 1, and so minus dou VTH by dou Vin. This is the what? So small signal gain formula. Okay, so then I am talking about, see, this is the minus, and if you take the minus here, it will becomes the plus. Then so keep like this as it is. Then come to the here 1 plus dou VTH by dou Vn. So 1 plus, so dou VTH by dou Vn is equal to, okay, so dou Vn by VSB or VBS is equal to neta. Already I told you in the what is it one? Yes, source follower. Source follower. So that its value I can write this 1 plus neta. Is the RD mu n C by X W by L into VB minus Vn minus VTH into 1 plus neta. This is the what this equation. Okay, so you know about this fellow. What is this entire fellow? That means, yeah, you know about this fellow. Yeah, this is what GM value. GM value. Okay, RD is as it is 1 plus neta. So that GM into 1 plus neta into RD is the small signal gain of the common gate amplifier. Hence the gain is positive, and I think in earlier cases we got gain values negative. That means voltage gain value is negative. So minus GM into RD like that we got. But now here is we got the positive gain. Okay, as the gain is positive and with consideration of the body effect, the GM is LU. For example, so if at this moment of time, if you, so this is the derivation without the body effect, at body biasing, at body effect. If you consider the body effect, then I think in this equation, it becomes, the gain equation becomes GM plus GMB into 1 plus neta into RB. So can you conclude that whether the gain increased or decreased with the body effect here? Increased because GM is high plus GMB. Okay, it is totally somehow higher. So into 1 plus neta into RB. So that with the body effect, your gain will increase. Okay. For given power budget, what do you mean by power budget? Supply voltage, okay, supply voltage and currents. for the given power budget, to maximize the gain, whatever the gain you received or you calculated here is GM into 1 plus neta into RD. Suppose if you include the body effect, then it becomes the GM plus GMB into 1 plus neta into RD. Clear? So, what is the procedure to increase the gain? Okay, to maximize the gain. So, for the given power budget, what do you mean by power budget? So, for a fixed amount of the input voltage, what are the input voltage? Limit is given. Just the 5 volts, 0 to 5 volts. Yes, you should not go beyond the 5. Okay, above the 5. So, to maximize the gain, we can increase the GM by widening the input device, eventually reaching subthreshold operation. GM is equal to ID by neta beta. Okay, my question is here, how to increase the gain, how to maximize the gain without touching the input voltage or the load resistance. That is the important here. Because input voltage increases, gain will increase because of, so V out by V in. Okay. So definitely, if the change of the input voltage, definitely output voltage will change, the gain will be ultimately changed. But I don't want to do that. So because my input voltage is to be within the given power budget. Okay, already fixed this one. So I don't have any power to vary the input voltage. And moreover, the touching the RD will create many problems like you. So higher resistors, higher space will occupy in the silicon area. Okay, so leave it the subsequent drawbacks. But here I am talking about I want to improve my gain, or I want to vary my gain without touching the input voltage of the load resistance. So from this equation, I can say, so by increasing the GM value, you can increase the gain. But how do you increase the gain? Definitely the gain value, so transconductor GM value. So by increasing the GM value, you can increase the gain. Okay. So how do you increase the GM value? Definitely anytime, because our GM equation is what? So that is, I think, so my mu and CYXW by L into something. In all of them, so only in our hand, aspect ratio of the transistor. By changing the dimensions of the transistor, you can increase the gain. If more width of the transistor, more GM will get you. You will get the more what GM transconductance value. You will get more by increasing the device dimension. Clear? So here particularly the device width. So because L, as I told you, for a technology L is fixed. You don't have to change. But W is not fixed. So you can swap it or you can change the value of the, you can either increasing or decreasing based on your requirement. So if you want to calculate the GM value, so definitely what happened? W by L is the one of the factor. That is the main factor. So that by changing the W value of the device, particular transistor, you can change the particular transistor GM value. So that, so by how can you change the GM value means only by increasing the device dimensions. Okay, so that is the one thing. So suppose whenever the device dimensions are increasing, suppose widening means width is increasing. So what happened? Even reaching the subthreshold operation. So this is the subthreshold operation. This is subthreshold operation. This is, yeah, you can say this is the subthreshold operation, and this voltage is the subthreshold voltage. What is the meaning of subthreshold operation of subthreshold voltage? Yes, whenever your device is working with the voltage less than the threshold voltage, then you can say this is the subthreshold region of operation, and where the generally the device we thought that it is off, but it is carrying some amount of the current. So that is the what. So if you are doing like that, your device will fall into the subthreshold operation. So where in subthreshold region, your GM value is equal to ID by neta VT. Neta VT. Okay, neta value is fixed for larger long channel devices and short channel devices. Okay, and VT is the volt equivalent temperature. Volt equivalent temperature value is what? So maybe it's approximately 26 millivolts at the room temperature. That is the volt equivalent temperature. If you want, you can calculate VT formula is Q by KT by Q. Sorry, KT by Q formula. If you substitute the values of K is constant and T is how much amount of T is given and Q, you know, again constant. So if you substitute all the things, you will get the what? 26 millivolts value. Okay. So or we can increase the RD and in the inevitably the DC is of across. That's it. We say so another way of changing the gain is RD. But already I told you if you because of it here purely resistance load is used. Okay, we use the resistive load. So definitely resistive load will create a problem of what? The fabrication and the area occupation. These are the subsequent setbacks. So that's why. So and moreover, if you increase the RD value by the formula, what will happen? So drop across the RD will increase. Drop across the RD will increase. That is the okay. I hope you understand. If still your VD, that means your voltage, input voltage is decreasing so deeply towards the left hand side, then what happens? Your device from off to saturation, then saturation to triode region. It falls to the triode region. In the triode region, what is the current? Without scaring, you'll get that current. Okay. The minimum allowable level of output voltage is equal to VGS minus VTH plus VI1. Okay, where VI1 denotes the minimum voltage drop across I1. What is I1? Yes, in the equivalent circuit, I showed you with the current load. Sorry, current. This is the I1. So, what is the voltage drop across? I think it is very impossible to calculate voltage drop across here because it is source. Okay, so but if you whatever the drop across this one is what it should be like that. What is that one? The minimum allowable voltage level of output voltage. How much output voltage? The minimum voltage, minimum output level, and maximum output level. So minimum output level is VGS minus VTH. VGS is the gate to source voltage of the device M1 and device threshold voltage plus voltage drop across the what? Your biasing current source. I1 is what? So because of you applied some voltage at the base of the MOSFET, okay, some bias current will flow in the source that I represented with the one current source, that is the I1. Okay, so that is the so VI1 denotes the minimum voltage required by the I1. Minimum voltage required. Why minimum voltage required? Means I1 is the current, it is nothing but bias current. Okay, so the bias current always it will not flow. So it will make the device to flow some current for making the device in the some region of operation. Okay, so how much minimum VB is required to flow the I1? That is called the minimum voltage required by I1. Yes. Next. The input impedance of circuit is also important. Yes, now it's time to calculate the input impedance. Earlier we calculated the what is that one? Gain, and we explore the ways to improve the gain. Okay, so now come to the input impedance. How to find the input impedance? Where is the input? Where is the input? The input is applied to the source. So we know that for lambda is equal to 0, the impedance seen at the source of M1, okay, is same as that of the source M1 in the source follower. I think here and source follower in both the cases, okay, in both the cases, whatever the impedance, input impedance of the source follower, whatever the input impedance of the what this common gate are same. So this is I'm talking about whenever so channel length modulation is not considered. Okay, so what is that value? 1 by gm plus gmb, that is equal to, you can write 1 by gm into 1 plus neta. 1 plus neta. How can you say this one? If you take the gm common, then gm by gm is 1, okay, plus gmb 1, gmb by gm is, you can write as a what? Neta value. So thus the body effect decreases the input impedance of the common gate states. Yes. So input impedance value is here. So this is the input impedance Ri Rin is equal to how much you got? So 1 by, so Gm into 1 plus neta you got. Suppose if you consider the body effect, then I think here you can take, of course, in this equation, you can take this one. So 1 by, so Gm plus Gm. Yeah, leave it. If this is 0, then this value is reasonable. If this is not 0, this is not 0, then I think sum of these two values will be more than the single Gm. Accepted? Are you accepting or not? Okay. Suppose only Gm is there, Gm value is suppose 10, 1 by 10 its value, 0.1. If this is a 2 or 0.2 something, then it is the 1 by 12 we got. So I think this value is, whenever this is more, this is what happened? This is the value. Okay. So your input impedance value will be what happened? It is decreasing. Okay. Or increasing. So with the body effect, your input impedance will decrease from this formula. But as an amplifier requirements, input impedance should be high enough. Okay. So the relatively low input impedance of the common gate stage provides useful in some applications. Of course, it is not bad. In some cases, it is required so that wherever it is required, you can use the CC amplifier, common gate amplifier. So now, taking account both the input impedance of the transistor and the impedance of the input impedance of the signal. As I told you in the earlier classes, so generally in the UZ, we studied for an amplifier, whether it is any kind of amplifier, we will calculate the gain, voltage gain, current gain, input impedance, output impedance, without source, without load. Then with consideration of the load, again, output impedance with the load, as well as input resistance with input resistance, source resistance. Okay. Similarly, a common what is the current gain, including the stage input source. That is called the stage gain. So voltage gain, okay, including the input source. Generally, when we are calculating because of capacitors are there, coupling capacitors are there, we are removing the coupling capacitors. Based on that, load will be removed and source will be removed. So, but now I am talking about the input impedance with the source resistance. Whatever the earlier input resistance, 1 by Gm plus Gmp, as we calculated in the where it is common source you got, it is not the source resistance. Whatever the source you are applying, for that every source, every practical source, whether current source or voltage source, will have some impedance, internal impedance. Okay, it will be series. It can be represented in series with the voltage source and in parallel with the current source. Okay, so taking into account, so if you consider both, yes, this is my this R naught is the device output resistance without load. R naught value, and this is the RS value. Source, source means RS means you can say so the resistance connected to the source. It is not that. It is the this voltage source internal impedance, and this is the load. Or you can write this is the RSS. Better. Okay. So whenever you take this one, and whose equivalent circuit is this one? Yeah. Same. This is the gate. Yeah. This is the source, gate and drain. See V1. Yeah. This is the X node is X. This is the X. Okay. And this is the source and source resistance. Voltage source and voltage resistance. This voltage source resistance. Okay. And you know about this one, because R naught is connected output resistance, you can write here. And I'm taking the body effect. So this hence this is coming to the picture, and this is my load. This R naught is the transistor output resistance, but not including the load. Yes. So this is the, yeah, from this equivalent circuit we must be calculate the our input impedance, including the your source internal impedance. Okay. So what is the current current to the RS? What is the current to the RS? This is, yeah, you can say the any direction. Otherwise, you can take this direction. What is the amount of the current? So I can write this current, this one. So this is the V out voltage is here. Okay, parallel. So that here is V out voltage. All branches are parallel. So that you can take this is the this node voltage is V out. Okay, so voltage by this is the voltage. This is across this one. This is ground because of this ground. Both are across this one. Output voltage is V out is equal to, okay, V out. And now current, I'm talking about the current. So that's why it is against the direction. So that you can write the your current. So I, yes, let us say is equal to minus V out by RD. RD. Because parallel. Otherwise, you can say very simple understanding. Let us say here is the V out is there, and this is the RD. So then you know the current flowing in this one is how much? So V out by RD. This current is coming like this and is splitting, and again all are adding and coming to this. So that whatever the current you are calculating here and here, both are same. Same current is flowing. What is the amount of the current is here? So this is the amount of the current here. What? Minus V out by. Okay. Yes. Now see, here is write the one KVL expression here. Input KVL expression. Both are grounded. Plus 2 minus V1, of course. And here is drop. This drop is how much? RS is multiplied by the current. This is the current. Yes, multiply. And this is the V is equal to 0. This due to the input KVL. Apply the Kirchhoff voltage law for this loop. So whenever applying the Kirchhoff current law for this loop, what happened? You will get, so this is the V1 plus this drop plus this drop. This one. Yes. So next, so moreover, since the current to the R naught, I'm talking about the current to this R naught. Current to the R naught. Okay. So what is the current to the R naught? So you can write the current to the R naught. Okay. So same current here, this current and this current and this current, 3 currents are adding, which is equal to this current. So that we can write this current minus these 2 currents is nothing but the current to the R naught. Are you okay? Suppose say
Sir,
this current
ఒక్కసారి
is
కరెంట్స్ ది ఒక్కసారి రిపీట్ చేయరా, అంటే ఒక్కసారి కరెంట్స్.
yes. Current to the R naught is equal to this one I told you. What is the amount of current is flowing in this one? The amount of current is flowing in this one is this much minus V out by RT. So this is the original current. Okay. So this is the original current is coming to this one and dividing 3 currents. I need this one so that from this original current, I want to subtract these 2 terms. So one is the minus GM into V1, one more is the minus GMB into V1.
Okay.
Then you will get the current to the R naught.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah. So now, so from this, what is the V1? From this equation, you can write the what is the V1 value. From this equation, what is the V1 value? So you can write V1 is equal to, so V in, or you can take V in minus V in, otherwise plus V out by RD into RS. You can write. So I am substituting those value here. So R naught into This is the R naught into, this is R naught into, what is this one? Current, current? So this is the current to the R naught. Yeah, current to the R naught is equal to, so output is equal to, this output is equal, V out is equal to, take this one. Okay, V out minus V out by RD into RS, this drop. Otherwise, you can do one thing, very simple thing, you can write here. Why I am writing this up? Why I am calculating the R naught value or current to the R naught? Very simple. I wish to write the KVL equation for this output loop now. I'm writing the KVL equation for this loop. So what is the drop across this RD? ఎంత డ్రాప్ ఉంటుంది? V out by R minus I into R. Simple. This is drop. అలా కూర్చుంటే లాభం లేదు. You should give some answers. Okay.
Sir,
So,
okay, sir.
the drop here, you know, the drop across these two also known because the same current is flowing here. So that I can simply write I into RS here, and here is the voltage V in. Output KVL. Okay, this is the V in, this is, and drop across this RS is this much. And what about this one? What about this one? Okay, so that I want to find. So I cannot write to, if I take this one or this one, I cannot write the voltage drop across a dependent source, dependent current source. We don't know. So that I found the current to the R naught. So then R naught is multiplied with that current. Then I get the drop across R naught. So then if you write this KVL equation, this is V out, no doubt. The voltage across RD is V out, this is. And drop across R naught is nothing but R naught is multiplied with this current. So plus drop across RS plus V in is the total output voltage. So that's why I found the current. I am interested about the current to the R naught. So if otherwise, why I am talking about the R naught current. Why already current is there here, here and here is there. Because I could not able to write the what drop across this independent sources. That is the difficulty. So that is, I don't know whether how much you are strong in the network analysis. So network analysis plays a key role in the analysis, like in mesh and loop equations, mesh and mesh and node equations, and Thevenin's theorems, Norton's theorems. So these all are very much important in the analysis. Wherever it's possible, we need to apply. Similarly, for finding the output voltage, output impedance of the one amplifier, definitely we use the Thevenin's voltage, Thevenin's resistance calculations. So that's why I'm no worry. But again, you can go back and check how much confidence you have in the network analysis. Okay, anyhow, I hope you understand these things. So my output equation is this much. Why I am doing this calculation? For what purpose? To calculate the
Current equation.
input impedance. Okay, or output impedance.
Yes.
Okay, anyhow, this is, yeah, from this my gain is this much. Okay, already this equation, you know, shuffle the equations and separate V out and V in terms, then take the ratio of both, then you will get the, this is the what? Small signal voltage gain equation. GM plus GMB into R naught plus 1 by R naught plus GM plus GMB into R naught into RS plus RD. Whole thing is multiplied with the RD. Got my point? Yes. Now, the gain of the common gate stage is slightly higher to the body. This is the gain equation. What is saying? Suppose if you forget about these two things, your gain is not much high. So because of this, what is it from body effect is included, these terms are included, your gain becomes a little bit boosted. The input impedance now. So this is your whenever you are going to calculate the input impedance, what happened? So this is the source terminal. You can see from this side what is the amount of input. This is Rin, whose equivalent circuit is like this. Okay. So then this the Vx is voltage is applied. So due to this Ix is flowing current, these two are known. Then the ratio of these two is nothing but the impedance. Yes. Okay. So now, so you can write the again this output KVL expression. RD is multiplied by Ix. This Ix current is coming like this and divided here and here, and finally all three is summed or added together, and it will flow to the RD like this. So this is the Ix current is adding divided here 3 and adding here, and Ix is coming out. So that will create the drop across RD. So that when I writing this KVL equation for this loop, yeah, the drop is RD into X plus again R naught into current plus here is the Vx. Got my point? So now Ix is the input, this current. Ix is the current due to the known source, known voltage source. Vx is the known voltage source. You applied means you know what is the amount of voltage it is. And Ix is the current. You can find it by using the multimeter. The Ix and Vx both you know. Only thing I want to know is the resistance, how much impedance is existing when I am saying look into the input terminals. Okay, if your transistor like this, your configuration like this is the source. I am looking like this for the input impedance. Okay, so then you have Ix and Vx, separate them and take the ratio of Vx to Ix. Then that is called the input impedance. We got this one. RD plus R naught by 1 plus GM plus GMB into R naught. I make it approximately. Why I am taking approximately means suppose I am neglecting the R naught value. Everything is for my convenience. I am doing everything is why I am neglecting is for my understanding, for my convenience. That's it. So there are a lot of assumptions in the amplifier analysis. You cannot question why you do like this. Okay. Anyhow, the actual input impedance value is what? RD plus R naught by 1 plus GM plus GMB into R naught. Suppose R naught is, if you are R naught, it is say negligible, or if R naught is far less than the RD, then the approximation case will result. Or you can say what? Otherwise, you can split that. How can you split that? See, one more assumption I will tell you here. So this is the GM plus GMB into R naught. So generally, this value is far greater than 1. So neglect this one. Then you can write this RD by this much plus R naught by this much. So here is the RD by this total thing. So plus R naught by this total thing. R naught will cancel. Then you got this. Like this, many assumptions will be there. This is what input impedance of the common gate configuration, common gate stage. So these individual stages are very important, particularly when we moving to the deep into the subject. Because after a few classes of after this module, so I will take this equation directly. Okay. So because there is a common source, a common drain, maybe in the amplifier, 2-3 amplifiers are connected in the cascading and cascoded. So simply I will write this is the gain of this fellow. So no need to do the analysis once again because it's time wasted. So that it is the time to learn properly why I'm doing like this. Okay. So now I have this one. I told you if GM plus GM is far greater than 1, that result is came. Okay. So this result reveals that the drain impedance is divided by the GM plus GMB into R. Yes. In the equation you got RD plus R naught by GM plus GMB into R naught. From this, what you are, so I split up this equation into two parts. RD by something plus R naught by something. Okay. Suppose if you take the first term, what you are understanding? From the first time you are understanding that your drain impedance is divided by the this gain factor or transconductance factor. So where seen at the source. Yes. This is particularly important in the short channel devices because of their low intrinsic gain. Okay. So there are two special cases there. So we'll talk about this one. First case is if RD is 0. RD is 0. What is the RD? What is the RD? Load. RD is the load. Okay. If RD is 0, what happened? If RD is 0 in this equation, what is there? Small R naught by 1 plus GM into R naught. Okay. If 1 is small, already I told you, 1 is far less than the GM plus GM into R naught. Leave it. Then you got R naught by GM plus GM into R naught. Entire thing. Then R naught will cancel. Then 1 by GM plus GMB remains. Your input impedance is how much? Whenever RD is 0, how much? 1 by GM plus GMB.
1 by GM plus GMB, sir.
It's only. Okay, understand? Yeah, then, so this is your gain equation. Okay, suppose if you divide this R naught, okay, if you suppose if you are not approximate the GM one value, you are not taking one value, then you keep like this. Then divide the numerator, denominator with the numerator. Then 1 by R naught plus GM plus GM. Okay, so that is the input impedance. Whenever RD is 0. If RD is not 0, then the previous thing is your input impedance. Okay. Yeah. So input impedance means because you are applying the source to the source terminal, voltage source to the source terminal, or input voltage to the source terminal, you should be looking into that direction. Input impedance కావాలంటే మన ఇన్పుట్ వోల్టేజ్ ఎక్కడ అప్లై చేస్తే అక్కడ చూడాలి. అంతేగాని డ్రైన్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఆ పైన కింద చూడాలి. Wherever you apply the source from the terminals, open the terminals and see into the terminal. Yeah, this is the input resistance of the CZ stays with ideal current source. That is one case. Calculated the input impedance, no problem. But I am taking one more configuration that I want to calculate the common gate stays input impedance whenever I am taking the ideal current source. That means load RD is 0 now, but you should not make the RD 0 because load should be required. But in earlier cases, instead of the RD, what we taken? Sometimes current sources. So because since the current source, a constant current source will do the better results compared to the resistor. It's always advantage. So that I want to see that case also. So now, so replace the RD with the current source. Yes, like this. Of course, earlier and now there is no much difference. Earlier there is a RD in place here, but now what I told you, replace the RD with the ideal current source. Yes, that is my current source I1. Of course, I1 current and what I am doing here, I am calculating the input impedance. For knowing the unknown value, apply a known voltage source and known current here. But there is a conflict that from top side, I1 current is flowing because of the constant current source is there. And from bottom, Ix current is flowing due to the voltage source Vx. The two currents are, what happened? The two currents are flowing in the opposite direction. What conflict arises here is means which one will dominate. Okay. So next one, then the input impedance approaches infinity. Whenever if you use the constant current source as the load, again if you look into the source terminals for the finding of the input impedance of the circuit, you will get the infinity. How do you get? Why you got this infinity? Yeah, I will explain. The same can be explained by this figure. Okay, since the total current, the transistor is fixed because of what? I1 is fixed, constant current source. Okay, I1 current to the your transistor is fixed I1 because of a fixed volt current source is placed in the connected to the drain source, drain terminal. A change in the source potential means here, suppose any changes here, Definitely, according to this rule, okay, Ix is the current due to the voltage source. Any changes in the voltage, input voltage, then there must be a corresponding changes in the current Ix. Okay, but because there is a only one path is there, from top to bottom, there is a constant amount of current is flowing. That changes will not take place. Since the total current in the transistor is fixed and equal to the I1, a change in the source potential cannot change the device current, and hence you can say Ix is 0. Okay. So that, in other words, the input impedance of the common gate is relatively low only if the load impedance connected to the drain is small. Yes. Yes, now this output impedance. Input is over, output impedance. Okay. This is the output impedance, the way of calculation of output. Where is the load? Load is a drain. I'm making charging. Okay. So again, I'm going to the back. I'm going to the back. Means with the load of R. So now I want to find the resistance here. Where is the load? Drain terminal, in between the drain and gate. So that I want to look into that. So apply known voltage and known current. Okay, all the sources must be replaced with the internal impulses. So that means already told you. So remember, Thevenin's calculation of the Thevenin's impedance calculation is very important for finding of the what output impedance. I use always that one. Okay, so because there is the procedures are there to calculate the output impedance of the circuit with and without dependent sources. So I think in MOSFET equivalent circuit we have seen many dependent sources. So what is the drawback with the dependent source means we are unable to write the find the voltage across that. We are unable to represent its impedance. So that is the difficult. So that use the a proper processor to find the output impedance of the circuit. Yes, output impedance, if you write, this is the output impedance. Already this is calculated in the source follower. That's why I mean again I don't want to write again once again. So that's why I write. So 1 plus GM into GMB into R naught. Okay. So is multiplied with RS plus R naught is parallel with R. I think from this you can see the simply this device transconductance how much GM, and the device body effect is how much GMB. So this is the sum of these two into R naught. So this is the R naught into R naught. Okay, is now RS. These two are multiplied. Okay, RS plus R naught. This RS and R naught is parallel, and this total thing is parallel with this RD because we are applying this current at this moment at this point. This current Ix is divided here and here, so that these two are parallel branches. Where the current takes the splitting, where the current is splitting. Okay, definitely you can say those points are parallel. So this and this part is parallel first of all. Okay, and this are series because of same current is flowing. So that RS and R naught. These two are series, and these two are parallel, and this are parallel. So this is the complete equation. Okay, so this is same as common source output impedance. Yeah, and one more thing is there. This is the impedance transformation by the MOSFET. How the impedance can be transformed. So that I am using here. This is the only I am using here. see here, the analysis of the degenerated CS states and CG states gives another interesting insight. As in the figure, we lose this is that the transistor transforms its source resistance up and its drain resistance down. Okay, what it means? If you want to see the input impedance, you should see up. If you want to see the load resistance, see down, because load is the at that drain. So that look down. So source is bottom. Since if you want to see the impedance, see up. That is say. So this is the to find the what output impedance. So 1 plus this term is 1 plus GMB into R naught into RS. So if you see up, that is input impedance. What is the amount? RD by RD plus R naught into 1 by GM into GMB into R naught. Okay. So if you see up like this and this are series. Am I correct? This and this are series because the current is flowing like this. Okay. So that these two are series. So that is the RD and R naught series becomes. RD and R naught is series. This term is coming because of the analysis. Similarly, if you see down for what? Load resistance, output resistance, then what happened? So this is the R naught, this is the RS. Again, these two are series. Series RD is there, that becomes the parallel. Yeah, anyhow, now CS stays, source follows, CD stays, and CG stays, all three completed. The next one is cascade stays. What do you mean by cascade? Cascading of CS and CZ is called the cascade. Cascading of, what is the difference between cascade and cascade? Cascade means one stage output is connected to the input of the next stage. Okay. They may be coming in parallel. The stages may be coming in the parallel. Cascade means one upon another. One upon another. So that means one device will sit to on the head of the another device. That is called the cascade. I hope you understand. You did in the same thing in the UZ also. So this is the which amplifier this is? This is one amplifier, this is one more stage. These are the two stages. Input is applied to the gate, means common source stage. Here is gate is carrying some fixed bias of voltage, means this is common gate. This is CS stage, this is the CG stage. Understand? Understand or not? Not confirmed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So give me a clarity that in CZ common gate stage, where do you apply the input voltage? Where do you apply the input voltage? This source. Yeah, this is source.
Source.
For this input is applied. Clear? Got my point or not? Simple thing. And one more thing, otherwise you can say M1 is the CS stage, M2 is the CG stage. And one more interesting point is, look at the gates. Generally in the CG, we never applied the input voltage to the base. What is it from? Gate. Only a fixed amount of the voltage is applied because of to keep the device in the to keep the operating point at a fixed point. Okay. So the input signal of common gate stage may be a current, of course, because always whatever the voltage you are applying to the source, because of the current is flowing, or you can say because of the fixed voltage is kept at the gate. I told you a biasing current is flowing in the device, so that the input signal of the common gate CZ is what? Current. Remember, a transistor in the CS arrangement, CS stage. Okay, what is the input signal? Voltage signal. That it will convert into current. In the CS, input is voltage, output is current. Clear? In the CZ, input is current, output is voltage. See, this is the device. This is the device which flows the current. Okay, which input is current. That current is flowing in this device. Otherwise, the input voltage is one. The CS will convert into current. That current is flowing in the device. In either case, it's same. Correct. The cascade. One output is connected to the another input. Remember, cascade. Cascade of CS stage and CZ stage is called the cascade. Because one device is or M2 devices sit on the head of the M1 device. Clear? Anyhow, whose output is drives the input of the device. Clear? So that's why it's called the cascade. I hope you understand. This device, M1 device output is what? Current. That current is given as the input to the M2 device. For which terminal? Source. I'm applying. As I said, as I wrote on the statements, according to the statements is right. Voltage, input voltage is converted into current by the CS stage, and that is fed to the source of the CZ.
Source of the
So
CG
then you will
stage.
get the final output. So if you take the whole circuit, what is the input applied? Voltage or current? As a whole circuit. మాట్లాడాలి అమ్మాయిలు ఎవ్వరు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు ఇలా అంటున్నారు
Sir,
input is voltage.
చెప్తున్నా.
Okay, Vin. And finally, you will get the output at RD. What happened? Voltage. Input is voltage and output is also voltage. When you look, when you consider each device as separate, the things will change. For CZ, input is current, output is voltage. For CS, input is voltage and output is current. Okay. So anyhow, I hope you understand what is the cascode.
Cascade.
According my definition, cascode means one device should sit ahead of the or over the another device. That is cascode. Here two devices are like that. But I am talking about cascade. Cascade means one device should drive the another device. The same two things is satisfying here. That's why I'm talking about. I'm talking this as the cascode configuration. So the cascade configuration has many advantages compared to the single stage. Yeah. So figure shows the basic configuration, of course. M1 generates the small signal drain current. Yeah, you know, proportional to the input voltage. Okay. And Vin, M2 simply routes the current to the RD. It take away the current, whatever the current, the M1 drives, M1 generates. Okay. So that current simply takes to the RD and make the voltage drop. So M1 is the input device and M2 is the cascode device. So M1, M2 carry equal bias and signal currents. Of course, both are in series. Definitely they will carry the equal amount of the current. So many advantages, yeah, we have compared to the earlier stages, single stages, what we can start. Definitely it is having many advantages. Definitely we look into them for the next classes. This circuit is also known as the telescopic. Yeah, remember, this is very important. This type of connections or this type of configuration is called the telescopic. Cascode or telescopic. Okay, remember these two words. The next module, you will have your entire module. We definitely use the telescopic and folded configurations. Telescopic and the folded configurations. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm going to stop here. If you have any doubts, please raise your hands. Any
No
doubts?
doubts, sir. No doubts, sir.
Shall I end the meeting? Sir,
Yes,
Ramakrishna
sir.
garu, ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడరండి. రామకృష్ణ గారు, విజయశ్రీ.
Sir, I think I joined.
Vijayasri.